Hi again. We're now on to part 2 of the how to high-tech your motorcycle guide. I've now taken delivery of a sports cam and I'll just run through the one I bought, why I bought it and what you get for your money. Okay, rather than go through the usual unboxing thing, which always seems a bit tedious to me, it's all out of the box and I'll run through what's here. Okay, first of all, we've got the box. As you can see, this camera in its waterproof case is waterproof down to 50 metres. It comes with an internal plastic tray that contains all the gobbledygook, and on the table in front of me we have instruction books, 2 of them. One is a guide to how the camera functions, the other one is a guide to how you can use all the different mounting brackets. And in the box, let's run through what we have. Okay, first of all, the camera. There it is, very small, and just for comparison, that's the camera next to a 10p piece. What we also have is a waterproof case, quite substantial. The camera fits in there very securely, it doesn't move or rattle around as far as I can tell, although if you've seen my onboard footage there is a buzzing noise and I am wondering whether certain frequencies make the camera vibrate against the casing. It can be switched on and off through this button on the back, which also activates the recording as well. Let's just get this undone here. Little clip here, comes undone, hinges down, and the camera simply slots in here. This then clips back onto the front, and that's it. The camera is securely waterproof, so that's good for underwater or on a motorcycle. What you also get is one of these mounting shoes. Actually you get 2 of those because of the different fitments. I've just screwed this one onto the bottom of this case. You can see how that goes on, and what these do is simply slide into these different mounts and then clip on at the end. I don't use those particular ones, I'll come to those in a minute. Okay, what you also get with this camera is, yes, a remote control. This one means that you can take still images, well, you can turn the camera on and off, you can take still images or activate or deactivate the recording. Very handy. This is one of the mounts. As you can see, there's a screw fitting on the bottom. This allows you to attach the camera in a multitude of ways onto the mounting brackets. It also, I can show you that, tilts and locks. You release it by pressing those buttons in, and the usual standard screw mount onto either the other mounts or the camera itself. There's also another camera holder. This one's got a curved base on it, and you can thread a strap through the base of this and attach it to the side of a helmet. We've also got these standard issue tie wraps. You get 2 of these helmet mounts. One has a flat base, the other a curved one, so that you can mount them to either a flat surface or a curved one. The curved one being for helmets, this one for being any flat surface you may have to hand. There are also a whole multitude of Velcro straps. I won't bother taking that out of the bag. Tie straps which don't have Velcro on them. Long straps for going around a cycle helmet. These which I'm not too sure about. Some kind of magnetic straps, but I don't know that I'd ever use half of this. They also give you an Allen key, there you go, which is used for clamping the handlebar mount on. The handlebar mount is already on the bike. I'll be showing you that later. Right, let's get back to the specs of the camera. Why did I choose this one? Interesting question. We all have our preferences depending on what it is we're aiming to do with the camera. What does this one do that others don't? Basically, it's pretty much a copy of the Sony Action Cam. It charges and records at the same time, which is a very, very handy feature. If you're out and about and the battery runs flat, then you can't do any more recording. Whereas with this one, I can leave it mounted on the bike, have it plugged in via USB, and it will keep charging all the time that it's recording. In the back of here, a little clip comes undone, and in the back we have the battery, which is here, which is a very tight fit. The only way to get it in and out is on a strap. The battery is such a tight fit that once I pushed it in and then tried to pull it back out on the strap broke off, so I've no idea how I'll ever get that battery back out again. And of course this little bit here, if you can see it, is the pin that is activated by the on-off button. So that's all that's in the back of there. Underneath we have the standard HDMI socket, so if you want to watch the video straight from the cam onto your HD TV, you can do so. There's a slot for the SD card and the standard USB lead socket, which is for charging or transferring data. I think the light is just catching all of those features, and this is back on. One small thing I will mention, which is quite interesting, and that is this remote. It tells you in the instructions that it comes pre-paired to the cam. Well, mine didn't work. I tried pairing it, and although the message came up on the screen to say that it was paired, it wasn't. The problem, as I found out, lies in the remote, and if you have this problem, what you need to do is take the remote apart. There are very few screws to actually get down to the battery holder, and you then insert a piece of rubber or foam on top of the battery holder so that when you put the casing back on, it gets pushed down properly and makes the circuit properly. Once I've done that, everything worked perfectly, and I can now turn the cam on and off or activate it for recording with the remote, which was exactly what it was intended to do. What else does this camera do? Right, quite a bit. It has a gravity sensor, which means you can connect it up in your car or on your bike, and if you brake hard or anything hits you or you hit them, what the cam will do is record the last few seconds, or store the last few seconds of the recording and the next few seconds, so that you've got a complete record of the event that caused the sudden slowdown of the vehicle. Very handy thing to have. It will record an accident. What it will also do is allow you to select either 1080p, which is 1980 by 1080 recording. That will give you 30 frames a second. It will also do 720 at 60 frames a second. I haven't tried the 720 yet. I'm so impressed with the 1080 I've left it on there for now. All the usual functions in here means you can adjust the exposure, light gain, absolutely everything that you would ever want one of these little cams to do. You can also record in WVGA, which is 848 by 480, and VGA, which is 640 by 480, but I don't think many people would take that route. I will also let you know that I put a 4 gig memory card into this cam, and with continuous running at 1080p, that gave me 32 minutes of recording. You can adjust, as I've said, the exposure compensation, the resolution. You can record the date and time on here, and you can select whether to have that showing on your recordings or not. It will take standard static photo shots with a resolution of 12 megapixels, 8 or 5. There's a self timer for 2 seconds, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and it will also do continuous shooting. You can have a screensaver on here if you like, and that can be timed to cut in after 1 minute, 3 minutes or 5 minutes. You can reformat the disc, or the flash card should I say. You can restore the default settings. The remote pairing I've already mentioned. There's motion detection. It also says vehicle mode. Now, although it says that in the manual, I haven't actually seen that on the menus, so as to whether that functions or not, I have no idea. Maybe they are referring to the gravity sensor when they say that. You can have it on loop recording, say every 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And there's also an HDR setting, which is the wide dynamic, and that was the setting that I had on when I did the on-bike videos. I actually found that quite good. If you look at the lampposts on the sides of the roads, you don't get that fisheye effect as you go between them. They stay pretty much straight and vertical right to the edge of the screen. If you look at some other action cams, you'll see that the whole thing, because of the fisheye effect, the outer edges of the screen just bow round, and to my mind it doesn't make for a very good video. So I'm happy with what this one does and the way it records. I can only, is the problem with YouTube, in order to get one of these videos onto YouTube, it's recorded in MOV format, which is massively memory intensive. If I want to edit that video, well, I have to edit it because YouTube won't accept an MOV file. So I have to take the MOV file and convert it to MP4, which is still a huge file. It's not much smaller than the MOV one. At that point I can edit it. In order to save time uploading to YouTube, I then have to convert that file to an AVI, which gives much better quality picture. So I tried WMV, that was horrendous quality, so I went with the AVI. By the time we've done all that, there is a lot of degradation in the clarity of the video. So what you're seeing on YouTube is absolutely nothing like as good as the source footage. It took my breath away. It is absolutely stunning, sharp focus, perfect light, no degradation, pixelation or anything else on this camera. It is unbelievable. So that's the camera. I'm well happy with it. I've seen footage from other cameras. They are equally as good, including the well-known ones, which are probably 5 times the price. So you pay your money and you take your choice.